All right, what's going on, party people? This your man Griff. I'm over here at the Sam's Club about to get me some gas. They $2.49, which is good. But I gotta go in here and get me a new card. I can't find my Sam's Club card anywhere. But I wanted to do this video real quick. There's a shift going on right now, in my opinion. Nowadays you got to say that, because if you don't say that, people think that you're being, being 100% like, oh, this definite, or that is whatever, so you got to say that to cover yourself nowadays. So in my opinion, there's a shift going on with the notary, in the notary industry, and especially with dealing with the errors and the constant mistakes that notaries are making. Many of you have gotten the email from coast to coast that says every Friday they're doing interactive training. Then Notary Stars put out an email saying that they're doing this symposium or whatever the case may be, and then a couple of about notary stuff. And then a couple of weeks ago, my mentor Bill Soroka, along with the Notary Institution, I believe that's what it's called. Notary Institution is LaShawn, the Lawrence Institute of Notaries. The Lawrence Institute of Notaries, Bill Soroka and a couple others put out did a webinar Zoom thing about avoiding mistakes as notaries. And then I think LaShawn, with the Notary Institution did a live, and she was talking about some of that on hers. And what's happening across the board right now is that they're trying to get notaries to course correct. A lot of notaries this way, they're trying to get you here in how you execute these documents. And a lot of the little fancy, pretty training that's going on out there is causing notaries to make some bad mistakes. They're doing stuff that is not good for business. And it's causing people to not get loans executed. They can't record deeds, so forth and so on. And that's a big issue, a huge issue. So what needs to happen now is, or what people feel needs to happen is some additional training, continuing education. And what I believe is going to happen, those of us who attend these trainings or feel we need to attend these trainings, and then you start doing closings for these same companies, you have no excuse not to do execute the documents the way they ask you to do it, especially the whole order for as scan backs, everything, printing the documents without the bottom being cut off, all of that kind of stuff that they're trying to get y'all to stop doing. And in my opinion, if you take training with them, and I'm not saying that you don't, but I'm just letting you know, because some of you probably need to, when you do this, you will be on the hook to do the things the way they're asking you to do them, no questions asked. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting phone calls from signing companies giving me instructions about how they want the documents executed. And I go ahead on and ask them and say, okay, is this a problem? Because I've never had these instructions told to me before. And they say, yeah, it's a problem now because since COVID, with all this influx of new notaries, these notaries are just out here doing whatever the heck they want. And I've cataloged a lot of the stuff in prior videos. Having people sign loan applications that they're not on. Having people fill out the loan application when they weren't supposed to be on the loan application. Putting signature lines on documents, especially the promissory note, and having the spouse sign the promissory note even though they're not supposed to be on there. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on that shouldn't be going on, but it is. And there's no justification about it. Some of the people are probably saying, well, this is the way I was trained. And if you was trained that way, that is a huge problem. And that is why I keep saying, if the training that you're taking is not geared to keeping you in line with the state law and with the requirements of the people who hired you, then you probably don't need to do that training. You probably don't need to follow the things that are said in that training because they're getting you blacklisted. Companies are now blacklisting you if you make just the simplest mistakes. We've already talked about that. And now you see these videos or these emails coming out about training, about, well, we need to train more. And this is what I did not want to have happen. I did not want to be forced into doing, in my opinion, unnecessary training. And this here part, what I'm about to say, is going directly to anybody who has made a comment, whether to me or to anybody else, about notary fees. As I've shared with y'all many a times, taking a $60 order does not hurt the notary business, in my opinion. These notary errors is what causes all these notifications. Taking these, going out here and doing the notarizations incorrectly is what's hurting us. Because when we do this stuff wrong, over and over and over again, what ends up happening? They got to find a way to get us to do it right. And what they're doing is now saying, okay, we're going to do training, because the lenders are tired of their loan documents not being able to get executed. They're getting fussed at by their borrowers. Why you can't process my loan? Why you can't fund my loan? Especially when people have $50, $60, or $100,000 that they're trying to take out of their equity so that they can do something with that money for their livelihood and for their family. And then we as notaries are screwing up the documents. It's just that plain and simple. And as a lender, I would be upset. As a title company, I would be upset. And it needs to be fixed. And unfortunately, those of us who are doing things correctly get pulled into this mess of having to do. So now everybody want to drive by. When I was sitting here before, it was all quiet. It get pulled in to doing remedial training that, in all honestly, I and many of you don't need to do. Now, if I'm being told that I have to do it, most definitely I will go ahead on and do it. Not happy about it, but I will go ahead on and do it. And then the other side of the house is making it very difficult for new notaries to get started, because these people are gun shy. They're scared of bringing on new notaries. And I'm just gonna say it. If the notaries over the last year who have been doing things wrong, if they see a pattern of you've gotten training from a particular place, or you're doing or you're talking a certain way, if they see this pattern, and it's primarily if you're getting training and the training and all these notaries are doing the same mistake and they're coming from the same trainer, I'm telling you, they might not pick you. And I know people gonna get mad at me. I know people gonna be like, man, it's not that I'm calling out anybody. It's just common sense. It's just common sense. And again, it's not that always that the training is wrong, but you have to understand that if somebody's bragging about the training they took and saying this is the training that I took and it's what's helping me make money, but in all honesty, they're out here doing stuff that is crazy, wrong, and irresponsible and causing documents not to get recorded, it's natural to assume, even though it may be wrong, that, okay, this is the way they was trained. Okay, well, they were trained that way. Who are they saying that trained them? This group trained me. This person trained me. This is who I'm certified by. This is who I've been approved by. And then you as a new notary come in there and you got the same credentials as them, and they're like, 17 notaries over here that we use screwing up the documents all got trained this way. Then you come in and you got that same training. What's to make me think that you won't go out here and do the same thing? Because I got proof that people coming from this area act this way and they mess the documents up like this, and it's consistent. This is what they're looking at, people. And that's why I don't put anybody's training in my profile. Not that I don't trust or agree with the training that I took, but because there are people out there who are doing stuff that is crazy, that is wrong, and what I don't want is for their bad behavior to cause me not to get assignments, because they associate me with that person. What's the common thread? Everybody who went to this here university, everybody who went to this here school, everybody who graduated from here are doing these things wrong. Or even if they're not notarizing wrong, but they got the same attitude of, give me money for this, give me money for that, pay me, pay me, pay me. And then you come in there not having that attitude, but they don't know. How would they know that you aren't like them? There's no way for them to know unless they give you a chance and then you execute the same way. But you read the comments, a lot of people, and especially in the beginning, not so much now, was talking that same stuff. You're all on Facebook. You're listening to these cats on Facebook talking this stuff. You're listening to these people who barely got any kind of experience as a notary telling you how to run your business, and they only been doing this for 3-4 months or 6 months. I mean, I call them pandemic notaries. So you got these pandemic notaries out here who are sitting up here trying to train you and tell you what to do, and it's causing you to not get work. And the reason why they're trying to charge you and make you pay them money is because they probably not getting any work because they done messed stuff up so bad that they're blacklisted, and they ain't gonna tell you that. And there's no way for you to find out, but more than likely that's what's going on. And they're like, well, they're shifting over to training now. They're shifting over to mentoring because they probably got blacklisted. Yeah, I'm mad right now because this is what I told y'all was going to happen. It seems innocent right now. Oh, we'll do a Friday interactive training. We're doing training, getting back to loan basics and stuff like that. Nah, they trying to weed folk out. I ain't worried about it because when there ain't no weeds around here. I ain't no weed, so I ain't gonna get snatched up and get cut out and all of that. So I ain't worried about it. But what I am concerned about is all these notaries who have put their heart and sweat into it, especially those of you who are 40 and above. And there's no disrespect to people who aren't, but people who are 40 and above are going through some life-changing things. That they're losing jobs. They got family members that are on disability. They got family members that can't work anymore. They got kids coming back home. And then you got these clapback notaries sitting up here, these pandemic notaries talking about, oh, look at all the stripper money I'm making doing notary. Nah, that's a bunch of bull. And now you got all this here extra training that we got to do. You are responsible for your business. You need to make these folk bring you receipts. And for anybody, and this here also is for anybody out there that don't like the things that I'm saying or think that I'm wrong, you're more than welcome to come and have a talk with me about that. My information is in the description. Contact me. Instead of you running your mouth on Facebook, running your mouth everywhere else about what you don't like about what I'm saying, come talk to me about it. Bring your receipts. And I'll be more than happy to course correct myself. I'll be glad to let's put a face to these comments, because you're sitting up here guiding people the wrong way. So what? You made a couple of grand in 1 month. Can you do that for 6-7 months? Can you do that for 2-3 years? And do you have the ability to really train and help somebody else do that same thing? Are you in this for the long haul? Or are you only doing this here until you find the next little thing that can make you a couple of grand a month and all of that? This is serious business, people. And folk out here screwing with y'all lives and got y'all going down a path that y'all shouldn't be going down. Got y'all believing stuff that ain't even true. Doing stuff that they wouldn't even do themselves. It's just like they said they had the girl Cardi B was doing something, singing the little nasty mouth song, and then as soon as her kid walked in the room, she turned it off. That's what's going on with this notary thing. People sitting up here telling y'all some jacked up stuff to do, And then all of a sudden, and then when you look at it, you flip the light on. Oh, they ain't doing it themselves. They like, nah. Oh, I'll take that $85 order. They taking the $85 order, but they lying to y'all. Stop believing these fools out here. And please forgive me for saying that, but that's really where it's getting down to. Yes, I'm heated about this because it's really hurting, because I'm hearing Notary saying I can't get orders now. And they was doing orders, but for some of them, there's a common denominator why they're not getting it. And y'all know what that common denominator is. Y'all need to course correct and get your act together and get things straight and take responsibility and stop trying to depend. I'm telling you now, and I like Facebook. Facebook is cool, but y'all need to stop listening to them people in Facebook. Every other post you see in there, how much you're charging, what's the rates you're charging, would you do an order that was an hour away for $65? Just do the daggone order and make your money and keep going. Stop worrying about whether somebody else is going to do something. You do what you need to do for you. You joined this here thing for yourself. And you're letting people deter you, misdirect you into doing nothing but sit on the couch and not make a bit of money. And then your wife, your husband, your kids, the daggone dog and cat, they all looking at you like, why you got this printer here? Why you got these notary stamps? What are we going to do with these packs of paper? And you ain't doing nothing. And granted, many of you are putting forth the effort, and many of you are being very successful. And I applaud you. And I'm getting emails and text messages for people who are getting going. One good friend, she finally got her first order. I think it's today. Another gentleman, he told me he got his order today. Several people are getting orders, and that is great. And they're getting multiple orders. But if you're struggling out there, leave the negative talk that you hear alone. Unsubscribe to them people. Get out them groups. All of that. If what they tell you to do ain't working, then you need to find something else to do. It's that simple. Because what they're telling you to do is just not working. It's you need to let it go. So yeah, this is a little bit of a rant. Because I care. I truly care. And you got these charlatans out here who are pimping people to make more money, and I don't like it. It really burns me. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't even got to say anything. They're pimping people to get other people to make money, and at the end of the day, nobody's making money but these couple of people. And you do have some great trainers out there. You do have some great training programs out there, but they get overshadowed by all of this here. You can make $100,000 a year, $20,000 a month, all of that. Yes, you can, but that is not normal. That is not typical for every single person in every area. Man, it is not that way, and there should be some disclaimers. They need to be held responsible and open their mouth and say results are not typical in your area. You may not see the same thing in your area, but they don't do that. They won't be honest, because if they was to be honest and say that, they would not get the money that they're getting. You can figure out marketing your business for yourself. The people I've talked to over 200 and some people concerning notary stuff, and there is not a person that I've talked to that isn't intelligent enough that can't figure out how to market their business in their area. Not a one. So I'm gonna go in here and get my gas, get my car so I can get my gas. But I've been trying to do this video for the last couple of weeks, last couple of days, even yesterday, and I was trying to do it without going off like this, but it just hurts me to see how people are investing their time and money into trying to do this business correctly, and then you got folk out here just misdirecting and just lying. My wife coined a phrase, and I like it. you know, and y'all say, well, anybody already got the LOL. Nah, not laugh out loud. Lying online. These people are coming out here and lying online about what they're doing. I'm going to just leave it at that. Peace.